one notices the ridiculous shit that goes on during the countdown to the live.
Dab on them haters.
All right. Let me pull up the script.
Oh, we're doing something?
Yeah, we're doing something. All right, so here's the order. Me, you, and Nico, you are at the end. How about that?
Sure.
Since I have to start it anyway. On this episode of the Culture Smash cast, the gang's getting back together for another Ocean's 11.
Japan rules the box office.
And the Critics' Choice Awards are all a Barbie girl.
It's the Culture Smash cast, episode 636 for December the 13th, 2023. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of the Culture Smash cast. Nico.
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
And Zach.
I'm Zach Martin. Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm here.
And Tina is absent because she is on baby duty.
Couldn't make it the past 3 weeks.
Maybe
Couldn't
not
believe
literal duty, but maybe literal duty.
Maybe. Yeah, she's the one who told me to come here, so that's what I did.
Perfect.
Steven.
Yes.
Where were we last week?
Where were we last week? Why are you asking me? I don't remember.
Oh.
Where were we?
Oh, you were here.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
had more important things to do.
I'm waiting.
It was the screening of The Abyss.
Yeah, I am very upset about that. I, due to family obligations, missed the screening of the new Abyss 4K restoration. So how was that?
So Cameron's going to Cameron. It's going to be slightly DNR'd or whatever the apparently he's not DNRing. It's now using AI to remove grain while retaining the detail.
And everybody says it looks weird.
It simultaneously looks good and off-putting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, this looks good, but this is a 30-plus-year-old movie, and it shouldn't look this clean.
I don't understand with Cameron why he can't just let us have the grain.
It's there, though, but it's not.
It's so weird, because the grain was there when the movie originally came out. It was there. So it just should just live.
Yeah, but what if it looked like Avatar?
What if it did?
Well, then you get the Abyss 4K restoration.
So overall impressions, how was it?
Damn, that movie works. Damn, that movie looks good on a big screen. And damn, that movie sounds amazing.
So it's an Atmos mix?
It was an Atmos mix. It wasn't an Atmos mix in my theater.
Well, I wouldn't expect it to necessarily be in your theater, but I'll be happy to know.
The surrounds were very active. Let's just say that. Like, there's a couple shots where it's like, it's underwater. So there's these ships and boats and whatever, and they're literally going over the camera. And you could hear them going above you and around. In my theater, it was like you could hear them, go to the top of the screen, and then all of a sudden they're just behind you. Yeah. But you could just feel that mix. And
that's amazing.
Like, that's going to be good.
I haven't seen this movie in like 20 years.
I wonder why that is.
So I'm excited to revisit it. I'm glad to hear that the movie still works.
Also, I know it's the special edition, but man, that footage of the wave at the end, like, we're not talking about the special effect of the wave. We're talking like people on the beach, and there's this one wide shot of like what happens, and it's 480p.
Yeah.
And it was shocking in the theater.
I would just love to know,
crystal crisp 4K, and then it cuts to like a 480p
just
shot.
Like to know what happened. Why they don't have.
Apparently, that was
all that they had. Yeah, for that one shot. But it's so weird. I can't believe that Cameron would spend all this time using AI to do some kind of weird course correction.
The fucking Terminator,
and then not do something at the end of that. But it is what it is. At least it's coming out. And that 4K comes out in March, I think. March or April, something like that.
They're doing this weird thing to where it's like Aliens and True Lies 4Ks digitally came out like today. But we got to wait like 4 months to get them on disc.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
Well, it could literally, honestly, it could still be them finalizing bonus features.
Well, you would be right if they were getting any bonus features.
Yeah.
Be cool if they were.
That'd be cool.
They're not.
The Titanic 4K is currently out.
The Titanic 4K got new bonus features.
It did, yeah.
And that came out. But True Lies and Aliens, no, there's
It's weird. I have not heard anybody talk about quality on the Titanic 4K.
Reviews I've seen were like, it's great. It looks filmic. There's
Okay.
film grain,
Oh,
which
good.
is weird.
That is weird that he would leave that one alone, yet fuck with the others.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody, if you haven't heard, a whole slew of his James Cameron movies are finally coming to 4K. We have been waiting for a long time.
I mean, The Abyss never went to Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, yeah, it was only a DVD.
And it went out of print DVD.
Mm-hmm. So The Abyss showed in theater for one night only.
One screening only.
Zach and I acquired tickets.
And my girlfriend.
And I had a family emergency and couldn't freaking go.
And my girlfriend overslept and couldn't make it.
I love that your girlfriend overslept for a movie at night. Like an early evening movie.
She thought it'd be 6:30. She's like, it's 6:30, right? I'm like, it's 6. So you can't get here in 10 minutes. So
that's funny.
You know what? It was a good screening anyway. Because I had 3 seats all to myself.
All right. So other than that, one thing I can talk about that all of us were a part of to some degree was the annual Christmas party here at the house. And that was quite the adventure because up until maybe 2 hours or even an hour before the party, I wasn't even sure if it was going to happen because Middle Tennessee got slammed with tornadoes again.
Yeah, we can't close to me.
Fortunately for me, it didn't hit us this time. In 2020, it was really bad right here in my neighborhood. But unfortunately, it destroyed some neighborhoods about 45 minutes from here, and even did a lot of damage in my sister's neighborhood, which is 30 minutes from here. Here, all we had was just a little bit of rain, but it did impact the party. There was probably 15, 16 people here, and there's usually about 30. So, but we had a good time. There was a lot of food. I still got food. I still have some left over. And we did our gift exchange. It was a fun night. And Dwayne, of course, brought a group game that was really fun, but still, once again, took too long to play.
Yeah, it was Blood on the Clock Tower, which is, if anyone's familiar with like Werewolf and that kind of style of games, it's that with a little bit more story to it. I had a good time, even though my wife, Tina, orchestrated my death in the game.
She sure did.
Yeah.
She sure did. She held nothing back to orchestrate your death. It was pretty interesting. And even Dwayne screwed with the game as the game master. Yeah.
As he's supposed to. He did not cheat the game.
No. He low-key pitted me and Nathan against each other because he knew how that was going to go.
It's kind of funny, though.
It was funny. It was kind of funny. But what was funny about it is Nathan and I, from our perspectives, were both right about what we were seeing. And at the end of the game, you couldn't be mad because neither one of us was gaming it. We were both being honest about our characters. Dwayne just pitted us against each other, which was pretty fun. It was a fun night. It was a pretty fun game. So just another thing. And then the other thing I think we'll talk about in a minute is we've all seen the new Godzilla movie, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to add, Nico?
No, the party was good. I wish I had more of that food. That was delicious. And outside of that, most of the rest of my weekend was baby birthday party.
Yeah, which we got invited to at the last minute. I actually would have come, but we still had Nathan and his sister here. They stayed the night.
It was a lot of people. We had a lot of leftovers and stuff. So
it was a good party still, though.
We're still working. Oh yeah, the party went well. Yeah, we're still working through like some of the pizza and stuff.
That's awesome. All right then. So join us every Wednesday night live on YouTube, Twitch, and I'm not doing Facebook anymore. Really, you just want to be looking on YouTube and Twitch. Starting at around 6:15 CST. Follow us on your favorite platform and engage with us because we do keep an eye on the chats. Supporting the Culturesmash cast. Skinny mixes are coffee and dessert syrups that are 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 to 2 carbs. Head on over to skinnymixes.com and try some of their delicious syrups, such as the white chocolate, salted dark chocolate, and salted caramel, and the variety of cocktail mixtures they offer, including a margarita, and different fruit flavored water infusions. Use promo code Culturesmash for 15% discount on your order. All right, so let's jump into the movies. We'll start with this past weekend's box office, and then Nico still has the film ball for us from Tina, which is great. All right, number 10 over the weekend was The Shift. It made 2.1 million. It's made 8.4 million so far. Boy, I almost got suckered into this movie.
Oh no!
Yeah, I almost got suckered into this because I was like, I need to fill my count. So let me see what this movie is, and it was like a sci-fi thing of traveling different multiverses, and I'm like, well, fuck that. But then
Here it comes.
I dig a little deeper
Here it
before
comes.
I actually go.
Uh-oh.
And it is a sci-fi movie about traveling different multiverses from a religious perspective. Let's put it that way. And I was like, no, fuck no. I had to make an immediate detour. I almost, because there was recognizable faces in it. I'm like, oh, I know this actor. He's pretty fun. No. I'm not in for that. All right. But yes.
If you were smart,
yes,
you could just look at the poster, and on the poster it says Angel Studios.
Yeah.
Which is the same studio that came out with Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
And that should kind of tell you everything you need
Well,
to
I
know.
was doing that at the theater when I was just trying to fill a gap, a time gap. And I was literally doing that. I was staring at the poster and looking at the trailer, and I went, oh, shit. No, I'm not doing this. All right, so number 9 is something I haven't even heard of. It's called Animal. It made 2.4 million. It's made 11.7 so far. I don't even know what that is. Do you know what that is?
This is Bollywood.
It's a Bollywood.
Oh, it's a Bollywood.
Yeah.
I got it. All right, number 8 is Waitress, the musical. It made 3.5 million. It's made a little over 4 million so far.
By the way, going back to Animal real quick, it is a 3-hour, 24-minute runtime.
Damn.
Holy shit.
This is Killers of the Flower Moon time.
But I bet you there's an intermission in there.
I don't know. It would be if they were smart. So
Bollywood does that.
They do. Waitress the musical is literally just a film stage play. I saw the trailer for this. It's literally just the stage play filmed. Some kind of special event thing. Number 7 is Napoleon. It made another 4 million. It's made 53 million so far. Sorry.
Did we ever talk about this?
Did we talk about Napoleon? Because I did see it.
No.
I'm the only one who's seen it, correct?
Yeah, because once the reviews came out, I was like, pass.
Okay, so let me preface this by saying,
when you come out and say, hi, we're going to release a 4-hour cut like later, well, then I'm just going to wait and see the correct version.
Yeah. So there was a lot of hype around this movie, and I couldn't really understand why. I wasn't really that hype about it. I love Ridley Scott, but I'm like, who cares? I just couldn't care about Napoleon for some reason. I like Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, though, and I needed to fill the void. So I go to see it, and there are basically 3 battles in the movie, and they look good, but they don't look epic. They're well shot. They're pretty. I mean, it's Ridley Scott. His stuff looks good, but they don't look, especially when you think back to things like Gladiator, it just doesn't hold up. It's not as big in somehow it just feels small, but they do look good and they're well done. The fights are brutal. The intensity works, but then you cut from that to these long portions of more like the personal stuff between him and his wife. And it's a weird tonal shift. Like, it's like serious war movie, historical drama, and then weird out of place comedy and some real awkward sex scenes.
Well, you don't like him humping a chair?
I mean, he humped that chair, boy. He humped it. Let me tell you.
That's what I heard it's like weird shit.
What's up, Anna? Yeah, so it has some real tonal problems, and I feel like the 4-hour cut is going to fill in the personal stuff. I feel like they chopped it up because it at one point feels draggy and then it feels rushed at the same time.
I heard like every scene feels like 45 seconds, so
yeah.
It never breathes.
Yeah. So but based off the way I felt about it in theater, I don't know if I could sit through it. I'm going to let somebody else watch that and tell me that it's great. I mean, maybe it could be a Midsommar situation where
I mean,
Well, but the difference is Midsommar's a good movie. The theatrical cut's good.
it's
the
like the
director's
foundations
cut,
are good.
yeah, the director's cut is just phenomenal. So I don't know if it'll be the same thing, but it's not good.
I will fall on that sword and say I didn't see the theatrical cut, and I'll watch the 4-hour cut and report back.
Perfect. And it makes me sad because his previous period movie, The Last Duel, no one saw, and it was fucking great. It was really good.
COVID.
Yeah, well, it was
release
post.
at wrong time.
It was released right post COVID, and it was kind of a long movie. Also,
well, you don't release that shit in like early October. That's like
Yeah.
a late November, like
Mhm.
Napoleon.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it makes me very sad because it had a killer cast and it was actually really, really good. But what are you gonna do? All right, moving on. Wish made 5.3 million. It's made 49 million so far.
That's bad.
Hearing it's a bad movie,
Yeah.
also.
No, like that's bad numbers.
Or not that it's bad. It's just not formulaic. It's just manufactured.
I mean,
There's
the
it's
quality,
flat.
yes,
I have
is that. But I mean,
heard
the
people say
even
this is AI.
What would you say, Nico?
basically, I was agreeing with Zach's point in terms of like the box office bombing of this movie. That is
Oh yeah, it's
really
bad.
poor returns for what's supposed to be a signature Disney animated movie during the holiday seasons.
Yeah. All right, number 5 is Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. It made 5.4 million. It's made 28.5 so far. And apparently, I thought this was just her like hopping on the Taylor Swift bandwagon, and it kind of is. But my understanding is this is more documentary than it is performance. So,
Too bad I do not care about Beyonce at all.
But Steven's got to hit 150.
I got to hit 150.
That shit ain't happening.
It probably ain't happening. Number 4 is Trolls Band Together. It made 6 million. It's made 82.9 so far, so 83 million. I saw it. It's boring.
What is this? Trolls 3, Trolls 4?
I don't know.
Some number of Trolls iterations is just wiping the floor with the signature Disney animated movie of the year.
Exactly. And I don't even feel like it just. I don't even feel like the kids that were in my audience really cared either. Somehow, just like whatever. And number 3 is Godzilla -1. It made 8.5 million. It's made 25.5 so far. We'll talk about that in a minute.
That has already made its budget back.
Already, yeah. Number 2 is The Hunger Games, the Battle of Songbirds and Snakes. It made 9.2 million. It's made 135.5 so far. This is a divisive movie because I'm hearing people say that it's good. Now, if Nathan was on here, he would tell you he liked it a lot. I did not like it. I thought there was a lot of cringy dialogue in it. I didn't think the character development of Snow made sense in comparison to the other movies. I just didn't think it was good. But some people really like it. Number 1 is The Boy and the Heron. It made $13 million for its opening weekend, and Zach saw that. So, what did you think of that, sir?
All right, so let me just set the stage here. Okay, I've seen every Miyazaki film that I could see in a theater since I could see in a theater. I go in, the Studio Ghibli logo comes up, first 5 minutes play. We got a masterpiece on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a masterpiece. It's incredible. They cannot fuck this up. What's that? Dude, the rest of the movie sucks. And it's shocking.
That's a shame.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, this feels like one of two things. It feels like Miyazaki is old man. It's time to go back to the house. Or they had 6 or 7 different Ghibli scripts and they pulled their best sequences from those scripts, but there's no connective tissue between those sequences. What do? I know. We'll have the character pass out or get knocked out or fall asleep, and we'll connect those sequences.
That's what I usually do. That's how I do it.
And it was around like the start of the 3rd act of the movie to where it finally just dawned on me. It's not going to get better. It's not going to be cohesive, and it's not going to make sense. And I really turned on it. Like, is it beautifully animated? Absolutely. Is the musical score just lovely? Yes. Does it have that Ghibli feel? Yes. But is the script there? No, the story is not there. The characters aren't there. Like, things just fucking happen in this movie. Things show up, things happen, and they don't get paid off. They don't return. They had no point.
That is a shame, and I'm glad I didn't see it. What's up, Parker? Thank you for jumping in here, my friend.
Boy and the Heron is what we're talking about.
Yeah, Boy and the Heron.
And
the latest Miyazaki film.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I went into this going like, it's Miyazaki, you know, I'm hype.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked out like, I did not like that at all.
That's a shame.
Like, I just kind of had to sit there in like a stunned moment. I mean, it's 96% Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone who's giving this 5 stars, like, it's beautiful, it's perfect. Did we see the same movie? Because, I mean, I guess I get what metaphor Miyazaki's going for. I guess it's very obtuse, and it feels like this is so personal to him, possibly even based on his life.
Yeah,
I don't know that shit. And you know, if you made a movie with a metaphor about your life, and I didn't know that, and Nico didn't know that, we'd probably be like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I guess it means something to you.
Exactly.
But I mean,
I'm glad I missed it.
How would you?
It's just fucking not good, man.
The previous Miyazaki film, The Wind Rises, I was very cold on.
It's boring.
The Wind Rises?
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you rate this versus that?
At least Wind Rises was a cohesive, like, story.
Yeah.
Things that were set up had a reminder and a payoff. Things that could be interpreted, like that ending, that whole ending in Wind Rises where the plane maker is going off, and you could literally interpret it as, hi, I'm Miyazaki and I'm retiring. This is kind of my speech. I mean, it's very like in your face, like it's time to, your time is over. This is the impact you've had. It's time for you to move on. This has, like, fuck it, spoilers. The point of this movie is to go, it's okay, you'll forget about this shit. Bye.
Oh. I'm glad I watched Die Hard.
Yes.
Instead. Because literally I had seen Godzilla and I had to fill a gap, and I was going to try and see this, but the timing didn't work, so I went and saw Die Hard instead. And sounds like I made good decisions.
Like,
even if I end up seeing Die Hard again at midnight in 2 weeks.
Like, you know, some people are saying, oh, maybe I need to see it again, and maybe I need to let it sit and gestate. Okay, it's been 24 hours, and I'm pissed now. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Now I'm in anger.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to bargaining.
You're going to get to bargaining? No, go to the bargaining.
Oh, my God.
No one wants to bargain. There's no bargaining.
It's just, it's not there.
That's a shame.
Do I recommend it? Man, if you got nothing to do and you need to do some ironing, sure. Put it on while you're iron. Go walk out. Go take a shit. Get your car oil changed. When you get back, you'll miss nothing, you know, because nothing really has happened, because nothing fucking matters.
Well, apparently, this weekend you have some good choices.
Oh my God.
Rotten Tomatoes is to be believed, and we know how we feel about that.
Well, man, Rotten Tomatoes gave Boy and the Heron a 96%, so hopefully they don't let me down.
Wonka is sitting at a solid 84% right now, which is pretty high. I was not expecting it to be there.
Oh boy, what does the Metacritic say about that?
And then there's American Fiction, which I'm hearing people lose their shit over. It's supposed to be so good. It's at 95% of Rotten Tomatoes. Both of those open wide this weekend. I'll probably try and see them both.
Wonka is 66
on Metacritic.
I'm still holding out that Wonka gets pushed.
It's not.
He's hoping for his film ball game. So we're going to talk about film ball really quick now before we move on.
American Fiction's 80.
Okay, well, that's pretty high. People are saying it's so good. Have you seen the trailer for this movie? It's Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, it's funny.
It looks really good. I'm very interested to see it.
Poor Things comes out this week.
Yep, I want to see that too. I'm hearing great things about that too. We'll see.
Well, hopefully it'll be a lot better than that bullshit I had to sit through. Like, I'm done with this movie. This movie has a weird obsession with fucking bird shit. Literally. Every time there are birds in the scene, there is shit everywhere.
Well, that's birds.
I know, but like literally, like, I mean, the bird can be on screen for a second and a half, and there's a pile of shit. It feels like this, like, joke.
Is it a joke?
Is it?
Is
The
it?
joke's on you.
It just happens.
The joke is on you. The shit is on you. You watched it, so you got shit on.
That's how I feel.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I'm done.
Okay.
Continue.
So really quickly, in case you're new to listening to us, our film ball game is something we do every 4 months. Basically, what happens is we take the domestic box office movies that are releasing within that 4-month period wide, only domestically, make a list, and we each get 100 virtual bucks to bid on the movies within that list that we think are going to make the most money. We assemble our list, and then we smack talk each other through that quarter until the end and see who wins. We actually do have a trophy we pass around. Trophy is currently with Nathan, who's not on the show, because he won the last
Because he's a bitch.
group, the last game. So let's see where we are, because we're coming close to the end of this set. And we'll be bidding again very soon.
Yeah,
for the
I'm
spring.
going to win. Okay.
All
It's gonna
right.
happen.
So our primary game, which is the crew here, plus the aforementioned Tina and Nathan, we have at the bottom Nathan, where he typically is.
It's true. He likes to be there, though.
$110 million. Nico, that's me, at $202.2 million. Steven, third place, 248.5. Tina in second place at 257.3, but her game is done. All of her movies are out. So that is definitely going to change for her. And Zach pulling in first place right now at $310.6 million.
I still got a chance. I still got a chance to come in and take second place from Tina with Aquaman.
I think
How's
you are going to take second place. I think I am the one that has a chance of overtaking Tina for third place. Like, that's an actual, like, possibility. Whereas yours, I think, is just a foregone conclusion that you will take second place, Steven.
Yeah, it's annoying because the last time Zach won, he broke the trophy. So I'm
What's that? Wonka's going to come in here and you got to suck his lollipop.
But the last time Zach won, he broke the trophy. Just remember.
I don't know how.
Just remember.
I don't.
Zach, you have one more movie out, Wonka.
Yep.
You have Steven also has one more movie coming out with Aquaman. Nathan has The Color Purple coming out. I have Migration, which I don't even remember what that one is, and
It's
The
the
Iron
animated
Claw,
one.
which looks good but is not going to make a lot of bank. And all of Tina's movies are out.
Those two together probably will push you ahead of her, though, because there's a lot of hype around the Iron Claw, and Migration is animated movie, so that'll make some money around Christmas. So I think that's pretty much how it's probably going to fall. Is it's going to be Zach, me, you, Tina, and Nathan.
Hell yeah,
Yep.
you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Get to rub that trophy.
So we do have a film talk, a TikTok.
Polish that trophy with brass.
Yep. And just to also touch on the game in general, the numbers do not include the box office totals we just went over for this weekend. So it's pretty much by the end of the week. So those numbers are definitely going to change too, because Godzilla got me something. On the TikTok game, that's a much closer game than ours. So we got Andrew at 206 million, Leo at 221.
Holy crap, they are close.
Jason at 222.
Oh my god.
Dustin at 224.
Whoa.
And Chris at 253 million.
Damn, that's a good game. That's a good game. And this is interesting too, because Chris, Overly Honest Movie Reviews, was at the very bottom 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
But he has everything. He has all the movies left for the rest of the year, so he's going to win. But it's interesting to see how tight their game is.
Yeah, he has Wonka and Aquaman still coming out.
He does. Yeah, so there's no chance of him not winning. And sucks for their group because he currently has the trophy for the previous game. We're going to shake that group up a little bit, though, because they did not want to do swaps like I wanted to do. So, but they would let people join. So Nathan and I are going to play both games to throw things off for them a little bit, because we play in this group a whole lot more cutthroat than they do. They just let Chris run away with stuff. So we're going to go in there and
probably because they like each other in that one.
Oh, that maybe.
I mean, that's a flaw in their game style.
It truly is. We like each other too, but we also like to crush each other. So
Mm-hmm.
that's part of it. That's part of the game. So, all right. So moving on, we all saw Godzilla -1. So let's talk about that real quick.
Okay, real quick.
Spoilers. Spoiler
Bad
warning.
title.
It is a spoiler warning. Yes. If you haven't seen it, you may want to dip for a few minutes and come back.
Bad title.
Yeah. What does that mean?
So it's basically after the war, Japan was basically at its lowest point, like 0. It was at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now fucking Godzilla's kind of come. They're now at -1. But that takes me explaining that for 20 seconds to explain a title.
Yeah, because I'm watching the movie thinking, I know they can be a little bit vague with their titles sometimes, but I thought I'll figure it out. But it never occurred to me.
It is very, and it's also, I think, that is the reason, I think the main reason, but it's also partially, I think it partially signifies the bit about how this movie takes place not as a prequel to the original 1950s Godzilla movie, but it is taking place before. It is acting as if this is an original post World War II Godzilla, just kind of how the original one was. It's even earlier. Like the original Godzilla movie was contemporary to its time, so it took place in the 50s. I believe.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't think it wasn't a period piece by any means. Whereas this is a period piece. This takes place immediately after World War II. So the fact that it is one taking Japan at its lowest moment and making it even worse, and then also how it is earlier than the original Godzilla movie, I think is kind of a play on the term. I agree, though. It is not a great marketing title. It is definitely a we are trying to be clever title.
I kept thinking, oh, this is some anime influence on this title, because there are so many animes that are probably really great that I don't watch because the titles are stupid. And I can't gather from the title what I'm going to be looking at, so I just don't bother. And I did feel that from the title.
The great thing about Godzilla movies is that you just need Godzilla in the title, and that's all that really matters.
It's really all that matters. Although this movie sets a different standard to me for Godzilla movies, because
it sets a high bar.
Yeah, and that was my first initial sort of scattered thoughts coming out of it. Is I love silly Godzilla movies. Like, I love Godzilla versus all the other monsters. I love all the silly. I love that stuff. But this movie made you have to kind of get yourself right if you've been watching a lot of the silly ones, because this is serious, this movie. And actually,
it takes itself seriously, and then it has the weight to back it up, to where when something terrible happens, you're like, you're not cheering on Godzilla. You're not even, you care about the human characters, and what they're going through is truly awful.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the asshole sitting next to me in the IMAX theater opening night cheering on Godzilla because he did the move.
Oh, God.
Dude, that happened. Like, something bad happens. Okay, we're in spoilers, right?
Yeah, we're in spoilers.
Okay, the atomic explosion goes off. Tens of thousands of people are dying. And the guys next to me in their 50s are going like, oh, yeah, he did the shot, like that.
That is a very problematic thing to cheer.
That is very problematic.
Japan is effectively being nuclear bombed a third time with Godzilla's teeth blast. And
I literally stood up and walked to the back of the theater. I did not want to sit next to that asshole any further.
That's fair. Damn. That's a reasonable. I would have loved to have seen this in IMAX. I mean, seeing it in a regular theater screen itself is great. This is definitely you need a big screen to watch this huge ass Godzilla.
Yeah.
Though I will say there is a double-edged sword to that. So Godzilla looks great, on a fucking IMAX screen, right?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the visual effects really.
I was going to say
that they need to turn on anti-aliasing, because there was some actual aliasing. Not in every shot, but there was about 3 or 4 shots. I was like, I could see the jagged lines on that.
Yeah, that's problematic. And maybe that's enhanced by forcing it up onto the IMAX.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, up to a certain screen size, it's fine. Then you go over that, and
Yeah.
Like it
I will
works.
say it's definitely some of the best CGI they've seen out of Japanese Japanese live action films, which is
Agree.
typically lagged behind what you see in American productions. But I mean, no movies in the world have the budget for that America does. This movie had a $15 million
No.
budget, like
No.
adjusted for like
No.
from yen to dollars. It's
No.
$15 million to make this
No.
movie.
They asked the director about that, and he's like, "I wish it was that much." So less than.
So thinking about that budget, even if it's less than that, it's
impressive.
pretty stunning that they can make it look as good as it does.
The models in this look fantastic.
Models look great. Yeah.
And they plan their CGI shots around that. Like every shot, it's like, okay, this is all we got for CG. Let's plan the shit out of this shot so that one, our perspective and it looks good. All the shots of Godzilla are pretty much at eye level.
Yeah.
So when his fucking foot comes into frame and the camera's at eye level, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's big.
Yeah.
You know, the scale is correct.
So I was thinking about this. I'm trying to remember which American Godzilla movie it was. The one that had what's his name from Breaking Bad in it.
You're thinking of Godzilla 2014.
Yeah, that movie came out. Yeah, so I hated that movie.
Well, the complaint is everybody was in for Bryan Cranston, and then they kill him off.
Well, also, it just didn't seem like enough Godzilla to me. It just had other things it wanted to do and didn't do them well. And it's funny because then I look at this movie, and this is another instance where Godzilla's secondary in this movie, and I'm fucking fine with it. I was here for it.
I think part of it is Godzilla. I mean, he is secondary because he's not the star. He is the antagonistic force. It's basically, he's
the nuclear bomb.
Yes, it's a destruction porn movie in some respect. It is the thing that you were constantly
complementary to Oppenheimer.
What?
Weirdly complementary to Oppenheimer.
Okay.
It's a great double viewing. You should totally do it. I'm not joking. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would.
But the thing about Godzilla, one, the point I just made, but the other point is that he is in it throughout the movie. It's just peppered. It's like, because Godzilla's early, like almost at the start of the movie, you get Godzilla. And then you get some good establishment with the human characters to really endear you to them and the plight of them and the Japanese citizenry what they're living through in a post-war society. And then Godzilla shows up and makes it worse, and then goes away. And then Godzilla shows up and makes it worse. It's like it back and forth. So you do get plenty of Godzilla, and he never overstays his welcome. In and out. And it's great. It works really well to keep the movie flowing. You're not with the human characters too long wondering, okay, bring out Godzilla, because it brings out Godzilla before you get there.
And the characters are interesting too. Like, you could technically remove Godzilla from this movie, and I'd still say you got a story here. Yeah.
That's one thing that stands out to me, is that the characters are so layered. Because especially if you watch like the like late 70s Godzilla movies, they were all just sort of caricatures.
Yes.
And they were just there to have a spot between.
They were
Godzilla.
Vehicles to get to Godzilla.
Yeah. But these characters are so interesting and so layered. This main character, he has guilt for not.
Well, he has survivor's guilt. He also has the whole "you didn't do your job."
Exactly. He has PTSD.
Yes.
And then just suffering. He's lost everything. You know. So you really get that sort of tragedy. Like, it's there in visually, it's there, but small. Like, if you're watching close, you could see the small budget, because you don't see epic shots of war-torn areas.
No, there's like two sets.
Yes. And they walk back and forth between them.
And you know what? It's
fine. It's fine.
They know how to use it. It works really well.
Exactly. They shot it well. And then this makeshift family that he creates, but won't fully commit to. It's just fascinating.
Well, that's his character too. He won't fully commit to almost anything.
Yeah. He's an imperfect character from beginning to end. And even when they redeem him, he's still an imperfect character. There is a redemption at the very, very end that I kind of don't like.
That last minute, I was like, I laughed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When they spoilers, mega spoilers. When they revealed she somehow survived,
Yeah,
I was like, fuck off,
are you
movie.
serious?
I feel like
That's a whole point gone.
I kind of agree, but I think I see what they were going for, just based on how much shit they put through Koichi, the main character, in this movie. That they wanted him to have some sort of actual victory, and having her survive, I think was that. I agree. It is
Godzilla not do it enough for you?
It is very outlandish that
Yeah.
she survives what is ostensibly a nuclear blast blowback that would have knocked her hundreds of yards away.
Glass alone would have ripped her to fucking shreds.
Yeah.
I loved the scene, but I was like, how did he survive? Because like all the other buildings get blown away.
But all the buildings are being flattened except for the wall he's next to.
Yeah. So that's what it is. She was close enough to him as the main character that force field kept her alive.
And here's my only argument to it. Is my only way I can kind of make it work and be okay in my mind is when you look at this movie like in its symbolism. You know, you have you know that Godzilla is symbolic of the nuclear attack, the nuclear bombs that destroyed so much of Japan. Well, she is symbolic of the hope afterwards that they had. To have her live does give you that moment of hope at the end, because it's still tragic, the movie.
Except, what was that shit on her neck?
Damage.
Well, it like grows or whatnot.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I couldn't make that out so well. I'm gonna be honest though. By the time this movie needs a content warning for new parents, because you have this adorable baby, and
oh my gosh, it was so cute.
I was devastated throughout like the last bit of this movie about like, oh no, this baby lost its parent, like its real parents, and then its adoptive mother, and it's about to lose its adoptive father, and they're back, and then the mother's back, and it's just like tears were just so like me watching the last that little hospital scene was painful just because of my eyes were strained from tearing up. I loved it. I understand the complaint about her surviving, and I get it. I like Steven's basically metaphor. It's like she is the hope that survives Japan, because that makes sense for what he is. He is the Japan finally putting away, or if not necessarily putting away the trauma, able to at least step away from it to go towards hope, to kind of rebuild itself. He is Japan rebuilding itself now that he has gotten past his trauma, and it works really well. I think Godzilla at peak quality, and again, I love dumb Godzilla other monster wrestling matches movies too.
Exactly. Same. Rubber suit Godzilla doing gymnastics and shit. I love all that shit.
I'm going with Godzilla being a superhero, giant monster. That's good. But I really love Godzilla being this metaphor.
I think we all prefer this much more, but I can still like the silly stuff too.
There's enough room for all of it.
For sure.
So yeah, I
the only problem with that metaphor though is the stinger at the end. What are they trying to say with that? Except, hey, we're a movie. Yeah. We got to have a stinger.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, because war never ends.
I guess so. And maybe they think we're coming at them again with some more nukes.
I mean, I did find a little silly how like the Americans can't get involved. The Soviets, I'm like, you can't send them like a picture or a newsreel of like, this shit is going on.
I think the Americans knew what was going on because they've already lost battleships to Godzilla at this point.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nope. That part I do think that's a stretch when it's like, none of the greater military powers are going to get involved, and the Japanese government itself isn't going to get involved. The fact that it's basically citizens groups unite to defeat Godzilla is I think it's a fascinating message about the lack of faith in the government.
The government
essentially the message in the last Godzilla, like Japanese Godzilla movie, Shin Godzilla, was like government response failure, because that was a criticism against the Fukushima disaster. So it's like
Yeah,
it's very telling that this is an
it
odd
really is.
Godzilla movies.
Well, in the scene with all the like fishing boats and stuff that come in at the
Yeah.
end, I'm like, okay, Dunkirk.
Yeah, it did feel very Dunkirk in that moment.
I'm like, okay, low budget Dunkirk.
Also,
you
they
go.
just came right the fuck out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing that Dunkirk inspires. Basically the valor of the common man coming to help defend, fellow people. The like you have all of the citizen boats coming in Dunkirk to help evacuate, and it's like, yeah, it's the same general premise, just different country,
Mhm.
and also Godzilla.
And I think I gave this movie a 4 out of 5, and I'm going to be fully honest.
3.5.
3.5 is probably the accurate score. I think I gave it a 4 after I first watched it, not because of recency bias, which is an argument, but because I don't know that I've seen a big monster movie that had this much thought in what it was doing story wise, and it just blew me away. There's so much character, and the metaphor. We've had metaphor before, but it was so well used in so many ways in the movie. I think I maybe, if I start looking at the script, looking at the visuals, looking at all this stuff, probably it does need to be dinged down to about a 3.5. But just the achievement of what they did in what could have been a silly monster movie just blew me away. I think this is my favorite Godzilla movie. I believe it is my favorite Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I think it's definitely high up on my list. I have a memory hole on classic Godzilla movies because I've seen so many of them on like Saturday morning sci-fi marathons, but because as like a child, so they blend together. So in terms of comparing to those, it's not really fair. Definitely in terms of recency biases, if I compare the American films that happened in the last few years, Shin Godzilla, the 2000s Godzilla movies like Godzilla Final Wars and those films, yeah, hands down, favorite Godzilla movie. It is definitely top. I'm at a 5 right now. I maybe argue down to a 4.5 because of the issues that we did talk about. But I loved this movie so much. Coming out of it, it was so emotionally thrilling.
And that's it. I've just never had an emotional roller coaster ride with a Godzilla movie.
No,
it's so big.
And everything about this movie is, like you said, well thought out, even down to when to execute the classic music cues, like when that dun 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 dun, like
it brings it out. It's like, all right, you deserved it.
Yeah. Like, so avocado antics in the chat says, I was shook when I saw she was still alive. Definitely threw me for a loop.
I'm less. I mean, I'm less bothered by her being alive, and more so, she should have been more beat up. Like, she had some bandages, but everything outside of the bandages looked completely fine.
Literally, for me, that is the idea. And if I'm wrong, then no one tell me, because the idea of her as a metaphor for hope is what makes it acceptable.
I think it works, and I'm pretty sure you're probably right on that.
So, very solid movie. It's so funny. People were excited for this movie coming out, and had it not been for the strike, we might not have gotten this movie as wide. It might have been an art house movie, or
it would have gotten
a single weekend release.
Fathom events, 2 nights.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome that it got the opportunity to grow and live, and it was actually deserving of it because it's just so damn good. All right. So I was going to bring up and play these trailers, but I can't really do that. We can still talk, and I'm just going to bring up the page, because what I see happening, and it's just some stupid shit, but apparently if you play too much of a trailer in your live stream, YouTube will pull the stream down.
That's stupid.
It is stupid because it's out there to be played. But so I'm just going to bring up the page. We'll start off talking about Furiosa.
Okay.
Because I think this is an interesting conversation to have. because I don't feel perfect about this movie.
I feel really uneasy.
Yeah.
Like visually, it. Okay, let's just go back. Why do we like? Okay, fuck. Why do we like Mad Max Fury Road?
We like Mad Max Fury Road because it's a stripped down action movie and it's fucking practical effects.
Even with a bunch of it's practical effects surrounded by a lot of digital compositing.
Yeah, that's fine.
So essentially, we do this car wreck and then we CG, but we really filmed them, the cars back into place, so we can, have these dangerous stunts.
Yeah.
Without killing people.
Yeah.
CG is best when it's accenting real. It's kind of like what we were just talking about with the model usage in Godzilla.
Yeah.
And what I see here is
a lot more CG than the first film.
CG, and it feels fake.
It doesn't look good.
No.
And honestly, when you watch Mad Max Fury Road, the CG doesn't look great in that movie either, but it's kind of okay because there's so much real stuff happening.
Yeah.
The sky
like, holy
and
shit, that fucking car just crashed and I saw a body fly out and it looked real, and it's fine.
It's a perfect example is the scene in the last Mission Impossible movie where he jumps that ramp. The ground under the car
doesn't look that great.
Or under the motorcycle doesn't look so great, but the motorcycle is real, he's real, and the jump is real. So it works.
Yeah, I don't know how real Tom Cruise actually is.
Well, I mean, it's reasonable. He could be an android at this point. But this movie looks more common to the way movies look now, and that's real disappointing to me.
It also, frankly, is this a story that needs to be told? Because half of the fun of Mad Max was learning about this character, learning about the world that they're in. When they introduce a character called the Bullet Farmer, and you have to piece together what that is. Or, we're going to send a load over to Gastown. What's Gastown? I wonder what that is. And I don't want more Martin Joe. I'm good.
I was kind of surprised that it was going that route. I figured this would take place well enough before pretty much anyone that's not Furiosa shows up in from Fury Road. So I want to like it. I thought the trailer didn't look terrible, but it is definitely CGI heavy, like you guys were talking about. And I would like to hope that it tones down a bit more. But I like a lot of cast. Anna Taylor-Joy is really good. I'm kind of curious to see what she does with this role. I love Charlize Theron in it, and I would prefer,
this is what bothers me.
I would prefer more of her in it. Instead.
Charlize Theron was great, and I had this suspicion that George Miller got an opportunity to work with Anya Taylor-Joy, so he's like, "Fuck it, let's do a prequel." And I'm like,
well, I mean,
do we really need a prequel?
Also kind of weird too. I don't know. I get the feeling that he maybe just had a Furiosa prequel in him and didn't feel that Charlize Theron could do it because it's too far back.
Too far back.
I get the idea that the story probably the idea of the story came first, and then he decided he needed to go younger. But I would much prefer continuing Furiosa's story from Fury Road because Charlize Theron nailed it.
What did she do after the events of Fury Road? I'm curious. That would be a great story to tell. But other side of it, and I say this with some trepidation because it'll get taken wrong, is much like when The Dark Knight came out, and I wanted a Batman movie, and I got a Joker movie. When Mad Max Fury Road came out, I got a killer Furiosa movie, but not a Mad Max movie. I still want to fucking know what's going on with Mad Max. And this movie is neither of those things. I don't get the really great Furiosa that I loved, and I don't get Mad Max. So I'm like, this movie has, by doing that, has given itself more barriers to success than it had to.
Now, full disclosure, if this movie comes out and we're 100% wrong, I would gladly eat my hat here.
I hope I
want to eat this hat. It looks delicious. But the poster is not the poster you have right now, but that's the Comic-Con or whatever poster that came out, but the official poster that came out is a fucking mess.
Yeah, it's bad.
And the trailer's a fucking mess.
I feel like this is my hope. I hope this is an Incredible Hulk situation where marketing wanted to put a trailer out too soon and the CGI is incomplete.
But then again, it looks like the CGI kind of style from was it 10,000 Years of Longing?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I get nervous because I'm like, oh god, it's that same
Which
style.
was George Miller's prior movie.
Yeah,
And was
Yeah.
also not good.
Yeah.
It was not good.
the CGI wasn't good either.
Yeah, the movie wasn't. It wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't particularly good. It was one of those kind of like meh kind of situations.
But
I like
kind of
Anya Taylor-Joy, like you said, Nico. I like her as an actor, and I hope it's great. But I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I do agree though. I would like more Mad Max. Not that I ever need to see a Mel Gibson Mad Max again. I'm good with that.
No.
But
Mm-mm.
you were right in Mad Max Fury Road that Tom Hardy's Mad Max is very minor to the plot and gets to do some neat things, but we don't really get to live too much with that Mad Max. That I would kind of like to see him do more of that Mad Max.
Yeah.
It is pretty much like I want to see more of him. I want to see Charlize Theron more as Furiosa. I don't really care what got the Furiosa character to Mortis Joe, because that's definitely a downer point. And I mean, that's the story is in Mad Max Fury Road is her breaking free of that. So it is kind of weird that this is where the film is going to take us at. But I think just George Miller got an idea, and they do pay off sometimes.
I guess
so, yeah.
we just got to trust George Miller. I guess trust the process, as they say. The Dark Knight was perfect. Anna says the Dark Knight was a perfect Joker movie, but a very imperfect Batman movie.
This is going to be a long conversation if we keep revisiting that topic.
Listen, he was only in the movie 8 minutes. Damn it. But yeah, it was a great movie. And this one, just like Mad Max Fury Road was a near perfect movie too, but it was a Furiosa movie. It wasn't a Mad Max movie. I'm not complaining by any means. I was thrilled by the movie. But I would love a buddy cop story, like a buddy cop style sequel that's got Furiosa and Mad Max together again. I would be fine with that. Let's see more of that.
Or you could just do something else.
Yeah, I would just do something else.
Yeah,
speaking of doing something else.
See, I mean, you could just take Mad Max and you could literally do whatever you wanted.
For real. Yeah. I guess the thing I'm most sad about is just no more Charlize Theron as Furiosa, because she killed that so hard. All right, so there's one other thing that we have here to talk about, and it's very funny that we're going to talk about this after reviewing Godzilla so heavily. Let me just present it, and then we'll deal with it.
Do we have to?
We do.
I know some people are hyped for this, but
did all of us watch Godzilla vs. Kong?
No,
the first one.
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, I'm the only one that actually saw it.
Exactly.
Oh, I really did not like Godzilla. We talked about earlier the 2014 Gareth Edwards Godzilla movie, and Steven, you're very cold on that one. I generally like that one. I understand the criticism, and I'm not going to rank it super high. I think it's a 6 or 7. I think is fine. It's definitely, but the quality of the 3 American Godzilla movies since like that one, and then King of Monsters, and then Godzilla vs. Kong, just decreases. I don't know which one I hate more, King of Monsters or Godzilla vs. Kong, but neither of them are good. They're both just terrible movies. And it's like this one, we get it's kind of like, okay, let's take Kong, but add in essentially Planet of the Apes, and also Godzilla's just there for some reason. Like if you watch the trailer, to our listeners, if they haven't already, Godzilla is incidental to everything that they're marketing in the trailer. Like,
it's like King Kong. King Kong is coming up against some force or whatever that he can't handle alone. So somehow they contact Godzilla and bring him into the fray. And I'm like, what?
And Godzilla is pink now.
And he is.
I just...
Also, looking at the trailer, because it is playing with no sound here, so that we can talk about it a little bit. I prefer the questionable CGI of Godzilla -1 to what this looks like.
Yes.
This does not look good.
Like,
It looks like a
we're
cartoon.
seeing
Well,
the shot we just saw was Godzilla's breath charge up, and it is weird. Like, as far as that's definitely got to be a plot element of why is Godzilla's like atomic breath and his spine's now glowing magenta instead of the typical like blue, hot blue
Yeah.
it usually is. And it's like, what is going on here? I don't understand. And then it really is not Godzilla's movie. It's really Kong versus evil Kongs, and like a whole
Godzilla comes in to help. Well, here's that. There, see, that's the proper blue color right there.
yeah. Like, and that's a shot from the 2014 one.
Yeah.
I love, which by the way I thought is a great shot in the 2014 one when he does the breath for the first time. Quick tangent. Has anybody seen Monarch yet? The show on Netflix?
No, I haven't. I keep hearing I have to watch it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I keep
actually
hearing
watch it
it's
tonight.
good too, and I really want to watch it. I really am tickled by the premise of the Russells. So Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell playing the same character at just 2 different times throughout the
Mhm.
show. So I want to watch it for that. But yeah, that sounds like it's the best of the American produced stuff. And Toho just comes out of nowhere and says, "Here is how you do Godzilla."
Exactly. It just looks awful, and I've seen some hype for it. People are getting hype, and I can enjoy an animated movie of giant monsters fighting each other, and that's almost the way I look at this as a cartoon at this point.
Yeah.
well, again, going back to what I was saying was why those scenes in -1, when Godzilla is tearing ass, all the perspective is from like people on a rooftop, and we're eye level with those people, or we're on the streets, and it has weight
Mm-hmm.
to the way they're moving. Godzilla can't go very fast. He's a big ass tall fucking beast.
Yeah.
And then in this trailer, what do you see? The camera's 200 feet tall, and they're running like fucking
Mhm.
crazy. Like Godzuki's gonna fucking show up.
Like
He's gonna do a
Godzuki.
tail
I was wondering
maneuver.
about
Right?
a
Dragging
Godzuki
his tail,
reference.
gonna do
You
a
kind of get that on the Kong side. Like the end of the trailer is a childlike Kong, which is effectively what Godzuki is childlike Godzilla. So
Yeah.
we are getting it. The American movies have just full on gone into the Godzilla camp mode, which can be okay, but it's not my favorite, especially when you get to Godzuki. It's like I don't really want this. I just want Godzilla beating up giant monsters or being an excellent metaphor for the horrors of nuclear war.
Yeah, but if you're gonna, the problem is if you're gonna go into full on camp mode, I'm fine with that. But you got to be funny. But these movies still
They
take
treat
themselves
themselves so
they
seriously.
Yeah.
do, they do. If they would go at it more humorous, maybe not as straight ahead comedy, but if they would approach it with more of a humorous backbone, I probably could enjoy it a lot more. But they don't. It's like you said, it's fully serious. So I'm not looking forward to this.
Nope.
I doubt that if I fail, which is looking like I'm going to fail at pushing 150, and I'm doing it next year because I will not fail twice in a row, I'll probably have to freaking see this movie.
Okay, so when you fail next year, I'm gonna play you this audio.
I'm not going to fail next year.
Especially if you skipped seeing Godzilla versus Kong.
Exactly. This year has been a rough year, so we'll see. I still have time. All right, moving on. Nico, you have a little story?
This year hasn't been that rough for a lot of films. The 2024 Critics' Choice Film Award nominations have been announced. Leading the pack, Greta Gerwig's Barbie with 18 nominations. Tying in second place, Oppenheimer and Poor Things, which is just about to come out.
Just now coming out, yeah.
Yeah, tie in with 13. Killers of the Flower Moon, just behind that with 12 nominations. All four of those movies, along with American Fiction, Maestro, Past Lives, Saltburn, The Color Purple, and The Holdovers, are up for Best Picture. Yeah, so that's 10 films. Okay, so they're going to the Oscar max of 10.
Exactly.
Yep, the awards will be held. The 29th annual awards will be held on the CW on January 14th.
What?
Damn, how sad is that?
How desperate are you for that?
The Critics' Choice. I mean, it's just Critics' Choice Awards. Some people don't really care, but it seems like they could find a better spot than the CW. That's that sounds terrible for them. I feel sad for them, to be honest. Um, Barbie is going to be an interesting movie this year. I think it's going to, in some certain categories, going to break some records. Because what did I see? The Golden Globes has got like 3 or 4 of the songs from the movie all nominated for Best Song, something like that. So I think that movie is going to be really interesting to watch this year, and how it's going to do. Which kind of frustrates me because the other movies honestly are better than Barbie. Saltburn is not. Saltburn I saw. Saltburn's fine. It's really overrated though. I mean, go watch The Talented Mr. Ripley. It's better.
I think yeah, most of the acclaim I've seen of that one is because of this, like the star Barry Koenig.
Yeah.
People really like him in the performance. I think Barbie is a really good movie. But we've talked about it plenty here before.
We have.
So I hope it does win one of the best songs. We have the full list if we want to go into it, but I don't really think we should break it down all that much.
Come on, Past Lives.
Yeah, come on,
I think Past Lives would be interesting to see it win a lot. Win some things. Win some things would be great.
That's funny because 2 things really quickly. Avocado Antics is still upset that Austin Butler got robbed last year from the Oscars. And also, I know for a fact that she hated. More interesting is that we both just called out Past Lives for that it needs to win some stuff, and she hated that movie, which is great.
Get fucked, Austin Butler. Your performance was shit. Oh, I can do the smolder. Look, I got an accent now because fuck off.
I don't think I disagree with that. I don't think his
whole performance was just I'm looking the smolder.
I don't think his performance was necessarily shit. It's just the movie wasn't great.
Also, the movie was shit, but.
Yeah, it was montage. It was montage the movie.
I fucking hated that movie. I'm sorry.
Did you even watch it?
Yes, I did. It took me like 4 sits to watch.
Well, then you didn't really watch it. I watched it.
Oh, excuse me, Boz Lerman fucking editing. Like the coverage is there.
I sat in the theater and watched it.
God damn it, it was awful.
Yeah, you got to really like Boz Lerman to like that movie, though, for sure.
I hated it.
She's
mad at me.
Yeah, she just said, "Wow." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she loves that movie.
Well, on this hill I will stand, defending to the last.
Perfect.
Elvis was shit.
Well, I didn't like it either, but I'm not going to hate on it that much because Anna's my friend. Let's see. All right, one last. Really, yeah, we do have them all here, but no one cares enough about the Critics' Choice to go through all the categories. It doesn't matter that much. We have one last story here. I will do it. I haven't done a story in a long time, so since Tina's out. George Clooney will be back with another Ocean's heist film. The actor has confirmed. Clooney told Uproxx. Well, who talks to Uproxx, by the way? Who cares about that? Promoting The Boys in the Boat, which he directed, that there is a script in the works for a 4th Ocean's film set after the events of 2007 movie, Ocean's 13. The film concluded Steven Soderbergh's crime comedy trilogy at that time, and later led to a 2018 spinoff, Ocean's 8, starring Sandra Bullock as the sister of Clooney's presumed dead character. Quote, "We have a really good script for another Ocean's now, so we may end up doing another one," Clooney said. "It's actually a great script." Clooney added that the film won't be called Ocean's 14, saying, "Well, I don't want to call it that. I mean, the idea is kind of like Going in Style," if you know that movie. If you know that movie, yeah. The references to the 1979 heist comedy Going in Style, directed by Martin Brest. The film was remade by Zach Braff in 2017 with Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin starring as 3 senior citizens who plan a theft. And I think that kind of makes sense because these guys are all getting a little bit long in the tooth. So maybe he's referencing it in that sort of way.
Ocean's End.
Yeah, Ocean's End, right?
That'd be a good name. Trademark.
That would be a good name.
George Clooney.
Exactly. Done.
You owe me.
Let's see. The only reason I wasn't a fan of Past Lives is because of the ending.
Hardline disagree.
Yeah, same. And Anna and I have talked about that because I disagree with her as well. But you know, I actually am excited for this because I really feel like I hope it's good. For one, I trust Clooney.
Right,
He usually does
I'll
good
need to
stuff.
I'll need to wrap it up soon.
Yeah, we're about done. But I feel like we need a movie like this. We need a big, fun, all-star cast heist movie in the theater. I think we need that. So I hope I hope it's happening. Hope they move forward with it. Really quick, as quick as I can. You can tell it's the holiday season because there's a shit ton of stuff coming out on physical media, and this list is not even near complete. So here's some stuff. Five Nights at Freddy's
Boo.
Night Shift Edition is in Blu-ray and 4K. The Creator is in Blu-ray and 4K. Don't waste your money. The Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2, I think in 2 different types of editions, maybe steelbooks. Weird, the Al Yankovic story is on Blu-ray and 4K. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is on Blu-ray and 4K.
Great one.
Clue, 4K Collector's Edition. I'll be getting that.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is out in 4K, also Blu-ray.
Criterion.
It's a Criterion?
Yeah.
Oh, then I still won't get it. Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie, is out. I'm assuming just Blu-ray for that one. Looney Tunes Collector's Choice Volume 2. I'll probably pick that one up because I've got the first one, and just that completist in me wants to get them now. The Wailing is out in 4K. Face Off is out in a special edition 4K. The Man from Nowhere is out in a new 4K. Dumb Money is out just in Blu-ray. School Days is out in the 25th anniversary 4K edition. Suspect Zero is out in 4K, and Running Scared is out in a special edition Blu-ray. And that's not even half of what's out this week. There's a shit ton of movies out.
Have you seen The Wailing?
Uh-uh.
I'd like to talk to someone who likes that movie. I just was bored to tears.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Nope.
So right. I guess that'll bring this to an end.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat, and thanks everybody who listens and watches in post. Come and join us on the live so you can actually talk, because as you can tell, we pay attention to the comments and interact.
Yeah, maybe you too can be wrong about the ending of Past Lives.
Maybe so.
I don't mean to pick on you. It was just,
we love that movie so much.
Yeah.
All right, Nico, where do we find you on the internet, sir?
You could find, I probably post mostly on Blue Sky these days. Pretty much just abandon Twitter, unless if you need a Blue Sky code, I can get you one from there. You can find everything I do at nicholasqualls.com. I'm working on a text version of my thoughts for Godzilla, which will go on my Letterboxd account, also linked there.
Zach?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm Master of the Matrix 91. You can find me on Steam and Discord. I'm a dangerously mute lunatic. You can find me on Letterboxd, Master Z91. I've been playing Lethal Company, and everybody should be playing that with us. Come on, get the game. It's fun.
So just find me over on TikTok and Letterboxd OTS Movies. You can find me on Instagram, Off the Shelf Movies, but that's just reposts of my TikToks. So that's up to you. But that's where you can find me. So, all right. We'll see everybody next week. I guess Nico already did.
Yeah, he did. As soon as he went. As soon.
I think it must have been baby problems.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Bye.